Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the continued topic of yesterday's, that is about the factors affecting Michael's addition and direct addition. So, whenever you have conditions such as Michael's addition, we observe 1, 4 addition of reagents to the substrate. In case of direct addition, that is simply 1, 2 addition, right? Now, in yesterday's class, we discussed about certain alpha beta unsaturated electron withdrawing group containing organic compounds and how those reactions support a particular addition process. Now, if you have a carboxylic acid group like RCOOH, if you have a carboxylic acid group and if this carboxylic acid group has an alpha beta unsaturation, let us say R prime CH double bond CH C double bond O OH. So this compound will be reacting or will be subjected to either a Michael addition or direct addition. But this depends upon temperature and the nature of reagent. So we learned how the temperature affects the possibility of Michael addition or direct addition. Now let us discuss about the nature of a reagent. So what is the nature of a reagent? Usually nature of a reagent is classified into two types. A reagent, depending upon its nature, is classified into two types. One is hard reagent. Some reagents are said to be hard reagents and some reagents are said to be soft reagents. So what does this hard and soft reagent mean? If you consider, for example, alkyl cuprins R2CuLi, this is also called as Gilman reagent. So this Gilman reagent is a soft reagent, whereas if you consider for alkyl magnesium halide, that is Grignard reagent, right? So if you consider for a reagent such as RMGX, which is called as hard reagent, and R2CuLi is called the soft reagent. So how can we classify a given reagent, either a hard reagent or a soft reagent? It depends upon 4 points, such as if you consider for hard reagent, they usually carry higher charge. Hard reagents usually have high charge value. Hard reagents have high charge value, whereas small reagents have smaller charge value. Okay, hard reagents have high charge, whereas soft reagents have smaller charge value. But the complication is hard reagents are usually smaller in size. Hard reagents are usually smaller in size when compared to soft reagents. So that is the main important 2 point. And if you consider for the third point, that is polarizability. Hard reagents are less polar. Hard reagents are less polarizable when compared to soft reagents. So these 3 points clearly classifies a reagent as either a hard reagent or a soft reagent. One is because of its high charge. Second one being if a compound or a reagent is smaller in size, then it is said to be a hard reagent. And if the compound has less polarizability, then the reagent is said to be hard reagent. We'll discuss more of these examples when we study each of the reagents one at a time. Okay, so now once we have known this nature of the reagent, next comes the nature of the leaving group. The fourth point, which clearly affects the probability of a reaction to undergo either a Michael addition or direct addition, is the nature of the leaving group. Yes, as I said, as we have discussed in the higher say PU classes or in a degree classes itself, what we observe is if you are considering for a nucleophilic substitution reaction or an electrophilic substitution reaction, leaving group plays a very important role, right? Depending upon the nature of the leaving group, the complete reaction process is calculated in terms of the rate of the particular reaction. Now, let us say for an example, if we consider for derivatives of carboxylic acid, let us say RCONH2. If you consider examples of derivatives of carboxylic acid like RCONH2, RCOOR, or like acyl groups RCOOX, or if you consider for an example of anhydrides, RC double bond O twice O. So if you consider this type of derivatives of carboxylic acid, so these carboxylic acid groups have some respective leaving groups. Like for example, if you consider for amine group, the leaving group is, if you consider for the amide of RCONH2, the leaving group is NH2, right, which is also denoted as NH2 minus charge. If you consider for ester, that is OR minus, the leaving nucleophile is OR minus. For this, the leaving nucleophile is X minus, and for this compound, the leaving group is RCOO minus, right? So these are the leaving groups. So whenever you consider for a leaving group, their conjugate acid plays a very important role in explaining how fast the given compound is leaving the given reaction. Like for example, if the acidic strength of the leaving group's conjugate acid is higher, more will be the reactivity of the given compound to undergo SN1 reaction. That is, let us say, if you consider for NH2 group, the conjugate acid is HNH2, that is ammonia. If you consider for OR minus, the conjugate acid is alcohol, that is ORH. If you consider for X minus, that is HX. If you consider for RCOO minus, that is RCOOH. Okay, so these are the conjugate acids. So depending upon the acidic strength of these compound, we can clearly relate their leaving group stability. Okay, so if more the acidic strength of the compound of a conjugate acid, then the given conjugate base is a better leaving group. That is, if you consider for the reaction of NH2, OR minus, X minus and RCO minus reactions having these as their leaving group, if the conjugate acid like ammonia, alcohol, HX group or acid groups, these compounds are specifically more in the respective acidic strength. That varies in order that acyl halides are more acidic when compared to HX groups. HX groups are more acidic when compared to anhydrides. Okay, so these anhydrides are acid groups, and these are more acidic when compared to alcoholic groups, and which are more acidic when compared to amine group. So therefore, if you write down the acidic strength of these conjugate acids and their respective parent group, we can say that HX is more acidic than RCOOH, which is more acidic than ROH, which is in turn more acidic than NH3. Okay, so this is how the acidic strength decreases. So if the acidic strength decreases in this manner, then the reactivity of the compound to the SN1 reaction also decreases in the same manner. That is, if you consider for the reactivity of SN1 reaction, what we observe is acyl halides. Acyl halides are more reactive when compared to acid anhydrides. Acyl halides are more reactive when compared to acid anhydrides, which are more reactive when compared to esters. And these are more reactive when compared to amides. Okay, so this is how a given leaving group compound has its reactivity towards the SN1 mechanism. Therefore, if a given compound, let us say, is undergoing SN1 mechanism, then they may be forming an 1,2 addition. If it is undergoing an SN2 type of mechanism, then we might be observing kind of a Michael addition. So therefore, whenever you observe the compounds having certain reactivity, and those reactivity of the compounds clearly is because of the acidic strength of the conjugate acid of a leaving group. As we have discussed yesterday itself, amides and esters usually undergo Michael addition. That is because they are having a very less reactivity in case of SN1 reaction. Whereas if you consider for acyl halide and acyl anhydrides, these two are clearly undergoing direct addition. That is because these two can clearly are stable in case of SN1 mechanism, which leads to 1,2 addition. Okay, so this is about the nature of leaving group affecting a given reaction to undergo either a Michael addition or a direct addition. I hope you have understood this concept of a leaving group's nature and the nature of the reagent in order to understand the given reaction undergoing either Michael addition or direct addition. In the next class, we'll discuss about an important topic of different types of reactions which requires different kinds of different energy levels of activation. Okay, so later once we have completed those topics, we have concluded the introduction, and next later on classes we'll discuss about each and one of the reagents which we might come across in our organic chemistry. Okay, so if you have understood this video, please do subscribe to my channel and share this video among your friends. Thank you for watching.